Hi everyone, welcome back to my channel. I want to first apologize if you hear any noise. They are working on construction in my basement. Example number one. um, and I have like minimal time to film videos right now due to the noise. So I'm doing my best. I'll try to pause it if it gets too loud and resume. But anyway, it is D is for November. And I kind of giggled because I pretty much I'm going to call this Derwent month practically. And you'll see why in a minute. So let me get a lot of these out of the way and we can go through some of my mediums. Now, I didn't pull all of them out. And what I mean by that is I've got some where I have multiple sets and it's, or, like a couple dozen items. So I just want to give you examples. So let's talk about the things that aren't Derwent first and make it interesting. Because yeah, I looked through all my pencils and I could not find any that had a series name that started with D. And I maybe I've missed some. I mean, my brain is still foggy from getting over this COVID, but I'm pretty sure I got everything. I was very unprepared this month, but we'll dive in. So example, this month I'm going to be using my Tim Holtz Distress inks, D. Of course, I can use these for I and T or H as well. Now I just pulled out a couple colors just purely for prop. I have every Tim Holtz Distress ink color, and I have some oxide pads as well. So there's ink and oxide. So I will be using those. And then also I have Distress spray stains and Distress oxide sprays. I have a few different colors of these, and I'm gonna see if I can use them for some of my PDF backgrounds maybe. So we'll see. But I didn't want to bring all of them out because otherwise my desk would have been insane. Same thing, I have a couple distress paints. Now, not a lot of distress paints, only because, sorry, I just started getting bundles. But I do have a few, and I'm going to see if there's a way I can incorporate them into what I work on. Now, these are like a paint. It's acrylic paint, so not like watercolor. Oh, that's not going to get annoying. Okay, and then for watercolors, I do have my Daniel Smiths. So I have a 10 set here that I actually need to swatch. At the time I recorded this, I haven't swatched them, but I will be using those this month. And then I also have my Jane Davenports. So I have her 3 watercolor tins. This is, does it not say? Oh, this is the neutral palette. This is, there we go, the Glitz C palette. And this is the Brights, I think. I have to tape this one because it won't stay shut. Yeah, so this is the Brights. So I'll be using that. I've actually used these quite a bit. I just don't think I've used them on camera. You can see they're actually well loved. But so I have those 3 from Jane Davenport I'll be working on. And then perfect timing, in my Let's Make Art subscription box, I got Dandelion Paint Company liquid watercolors. So these will be used first in my projects for Let's Make Art, and then whatever's left I'll try and use in other projects. But yeah, they sent me those, so I was like, hey, that's kind of funny. Now I got to do the challenges, right? Okay, so that's it for non-pencils. Now let's talk pencils, which are all Derwent. Guess I'm gonna learn to love my Derwent stuff this month. So I have my Derwent Artists. These are the only pencils I've bought in the box set, and that's because this is the only way to get the 120, I think it is. But yeah, they come in the box set. If you're unfamiliar with the artists, they're very hard, very muted colors, but they're actually pretty fun to work with. I have a couple tutorials already on my channel because I used these when it was A is for August. I used my Derwent Artists. So they will get broken out again. Possibly not as much because they got used in the other months, but I'm gonna try and use at least everything once. That's the whole goal. I will be using my Derwent Graphitint as well. These ones are really fun to work with, and maybe I can do some tutorials on these. I will be using my Derwent Chroma Flow. I ended up not using these. I had pulled them out for the letter C month, and I didn't get around to using them, so I'm going to use them this month for sure. All right. And then I also have my Derwent Inktense. I do have a ton of requests for tutorials and color alongs with Inktense, so these are definitely going to get used this month for sure. I've been using my Inktense a lot more lately, and I'm just loving them more and more. I'll also be using, like I said, this is Derwent month, my Derwent watercolor pencils. I have a 36 tin, and so I'll be using these as well. Oops. I might actually buy the remainder that I'm missing this month. We'll see. All right, my Derwent Pro Color pencils. I'll be using these also. And normally, or a couple months ago, I would have been like groaning at the idea of using my Derwent Pro Color, but this month I'm actually excited because I had done that one hair tutorial and realized these are amazing for hair. So I'm really excited to break these out and color some portraits. Well, at least the hair part, the rest not so much. Okay, then I will also be using my Color Soft. I did use the Color Soft last month. C is for October. So they had already gotten some attention. These are actually probably one of my most well-used sets from Derwent. Oh, I'm so sorry with the hammering. I'm almost done though. I just want to finish the video. Okay, and then lastly is my Derwent Light Fast. I'm really excited to use these. I actually really like the Derwent Light Fast. They are oil-based, but they don't feel like it. They're really fun pencils. The colors are very, very fall-like as well. So, and they've got like really rich purples, reds, and oranges. And their greens are very rich as well. So it's an awesome set for fall. So I'm really excited to use it and check out all those browns. I mean, loads of browns. But yeah, I'll be using my Light Fast this month as well. And that's it for the letter D. I really like double checked, and I think I'm gonna find stuff. But I mean, I've got opportunities to do a lot of watercolor because I've got, you know, my Jane Davenports and Daniel Smith and the Dandelions. I can use my Distress inks for base coats and backgrounds, which I kind of wanted to practice. I've got other mediums, so I can do some mixed media. I mean, so I've got a lot to work with this month in terms of variety. Now, when it comes to pencils, I pretty much have just Derwent pencils. So that part is kind of funny, but other than that, I think it'll be a lot of fun. You know, I'll get to play with some Derwent products that I already love anyway, but also get some mixed media and watercolor, especially because I do have an abundance of watercolor, and you can actually use these and the refills. I do have ink pad refills. I didn't pull those out. I forgot. Oh, and I have the embossing powders for these as well. Okay, so shoot, I've got those I can use too. So yeah, you can even use these like watercolor paints if you wanted. So loads of options. And we'll see what I make this month, but I'm really excited to see what you guys do. Remember, try not to stress out. The whole point is to ignore the hammering in the background. Just every time you hear that hammer, right now, just think of it as my studio is almost done. That's how or at least that's what I tell myself all day when I hear it. But yeah, so don't stress about the challenge. Just please remember the whole fun of the game is to use supplies you don't normally use. Now you can go ahead and just use colors that start with D. If you don't have this many Derwent products or anything that starts with the letter D, you can do that. Also, if you need to kind of get a little creative, like you can use Caran Dash. You know, even though that was for C, you can also use it for D. So there's ways to wiggle it in there so it works. The whole point is just find something that fits this letter this month and use it at least once. I had a few products I didn't use last month for the letter C, and I'm probably going to give them away because I had zero desire to use them. And that kind of tells me something. So this is a good way to, you know, thin out your collection or rekindle, you know, a love for something you didn't realize you had before, or just, you know, remind yourself that that pencil is kind of iffy. I'm still going to use my Prismacolors. I'm still going to use other pencils as well. The whole point is just trying to use these at least once. And so hopefully no one is stressed by now. We're on the 4th month, so I think we've all got it down. But yeah, I'm very excited to see what you all come up with. Last month, you know, I was sick. Unfortunately, my family and I caught COVID, and it just kind of wiped out half of October. So I was really slacking on social media, especially like Instagram. So I did see the pictures you guys posted. I just didn't get a chance to share them or comment, but I did see them. This month I'll be a lot more proactive now that I'm feeling better. So that'll be a lot of fun. So yeah, guys, I'm looking forward to it. Now remember, it is D is for November. I know it would have been cooler if we did that in December, but you know, the letter falls where it falls. So I'm excited to see what everyone makes, excited to have some fun, but let me know if you want to see any color alongs, tutorials, beginner's guides with any of the items that I've shown you today. I'm more than happy to try and squeeze that in. And until next time, take care. Bye.